Right to Repair. Welcome everybody to the masterclass where we're going to dive into a subject that has been passed through legislation. It is on the roll. We are currently entering the space, and we've heard a lot of, if I may say, from podcasts to interesting industry experts giving their opinion and raising issues. Today we want to share with you our point of view, and our point of view meaning people that will actually be affected by this, both positively and negatively, from a dealership point of view. So before we start, I want to put it on record that we are not saying that right to repair is bad or good. It's got phenomenal points. The fact that it creates competition between service providers on price, which is currently fixed. It also opens up a lot of areas where a consumer has multiple choices, like to buy with a service plan or without a service plan. I also want to put it on record that our dealership is approved and we are a non-franchise dealership. I think in a 5-kilometer radius of us, we've got a BMW, Mercedes, we've got a GWM, we've got a Volkswagen, we've got a Toyota across the street. So it will definitely benefit us in terms of income for our workshop. But I want to dive into a couple of more technical subjects where even though in the rest of the world rather it works this way, I want to bring a point to in the rest of the world there's accountability institutions and standards that needs to be hit, which don't really exist here yet. So I think it's an awesome idea. I just want to discuss a few possible scenarios with my team. Anna-Marie Meyer, F&I Group Head for Mitmac Motors, and Eddie Magale, he is a branch manager at Mitmac Motors. So I'm going to dive into the subject, have a chat, get your opinion, maybe create a conversation on the platform that you are watching. Hit us with the comments, and we'd love to extend this into possibly a second episode. So you guys ready?
Yeah, ready, sure. Like always.
Let's dive into it. So Eds, I want to start with you, Eddie. I want you to picture a scenario where a customer has purchased let's use a BMW for example. The right to repair says the service plan needs to be unbundled from the car price. Meaning, let's take a 320 diesel. I love the car 320 diesel BMW. Two different cars. One with a BMW service plan. Let's say a 2019 model, for example. For math purposes. So it's got a warranty, no service plan. The other one has a service plan and has a warranty from BMW as well. So my question is two-part. Is the book value, the actual trade and retail value that we use to evaluate vehicles, is that the same on both cars? Number one question. And number two question, which car is more valuable to you as a trade-in when a customer comes to trade in? And what are your thoughts about that?
Remember, service plan suggests that the car has been well taken care of. So if obviously you can prove to me that the car has been serviced throughout its life, that's the car I want to buy more than the car we're in. I'm not sure if the services has been regularly done, and so obviously those two cars will not be worth the same. But
my question to you is, if the service plan on the vehicle that has a BMW service plan has been maintained by BMW, and the other one has been maintained by a non-BMW agent, I mean, then they're both serviced.
They're both serviced, which actually I thought of an example, just to go a bit off topic. The example that I thought about, who is best to raise your child, yourself or somebody else that doesn't actually know that child?
Wow, okay.
So to come think of it, I make BMW. I have techs that specializes on BMW. So that sort of gives you peace of mind to know that this car has always been taken care of at home. Right? Okay. So you cannot expect the same quality.
But I love opposing opinions because I will disagree with you on that. So opposing opinion I want to put forward to you is, even though we're not taking care of the child at home, we're sending the child to creche. So at the creche, the teachers have been trained also to take care of kids. So in order for me to be able to be on the approved panel, I need to know how to service the BMW and which oils to use.
That's correct.
But in your mind already, I can see you going towards, yeah, but my child that I raised myself will be better taken care of. So that's a subjective view. But which car is worth more? The one with the BMW service plan that is paid for, and the one without the service plan. So that's obviously less.
Basically, both cars have been serviced.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if the record shows that both cars has been serviced, the services has been done regularly, they should be with the same vehicle. I was saying because remember a new law has been passed.
It's already passed.
So what I'm saying is that it's still just going to take us time. Remember, we're still conditioned to believe at the moment
to break that cycle.
That a Mazda should be serviced at Mazda.
Yeah.
It's new to us. It is going to take some time before we understand that service is a service. You did mention if there will be accountability that has to come with the other service providers, then only then I believe we'll be able to settle in and understand that a service is a service no matter who did the service. You know.
But by the time I trade it in, the one with the current service plan still intact is more valuable.
But how do you?
Because I'm not going to pay for, if I buy it from you, I'm not going to pay for services. Regardless if I'm going to service it with BMW or going to service it at someone else, as long as it's another approved workshop.
Yeah.
But for me to trade in the vehicle with a current service plan is more valuable because the service are already been paid up.
What's the book value of the car, the trade value?
Book value is exactly the same, but that brings us back. Will I pay more for a car because it's got less mileage?
But I disagree about the book value because
it shouldn't be the same, but currently it is the same.
Yeah. So it should be
shouldn't
different.
be.
Yeah.
They need to make a change.
Yeah.
And I think
Agreed.
those are the kind of things, yes, it's part of, it's approved and it's there, but there's a lot of things that I didn't really think through.
Just to add to that, we're talking about the book value. Every time we mention the book value, we need to remember it's a mere guideline. There's still a lot that we'll have to consider
100%.
before actually valuing the vehicle.
But the trade in retail is a base. It's a starting point.
Yes.
So
But that base was based on assumption that specific vehicles came out with service plans.
Correct.
And now suddenly you can get a vehicle. So it's the same as the OEM extras, the extras that you buy. So I get a BMW, we're discussing BMW.
320 diesel.
320 diesel. And I need a sunroof with my vehicle. It doesn't come standard, so it's additional extra.
Yeah.
Now, these markers in your book where you pay more for that, little codes.
Love your point,
But
because that
why
can be a
isn't
marker.
it must be a marker. There must be a marker to say service plan, and you know how it works in the booklets. We've done it before. Specific year models, specific mileage, and you can just check according to that. It must be there.
100%.
And they haven't thought it through.
In my opinion, you're right. And also another point, adding to that, at the time of sale, it has to be unbundled. So that vehicle's price was different, the one without a service plan. So therefore, it should be a different book value starting point where the extras are brought into play. Then I was recently, a couple of months ago, just before this went into legislation, on a podcast with the person that drove it. And, we had an opposing opinion, myself as a dealer and himself as a workshop. So I said, I'm not fighting you, we are merely debating. And we also have a workshop. So going on record again, this will benefit us financially if we start, going to market.
Vehicles in, yes.
And this is not to BMW or VW, anybody directly, but some dealers charge an unfair hourly rate. You've got guys charging 1,200, 1,800 rand hourly rate, where ours is maybe a third of that. So the consumer is better off servicing with us if we were to use the same oils and filters.
We don't only sell cars that's 5 years and older. We sell cars
that's
cars 1 year, 2 and 3 years old.
36 months.
So it's vehicles
average,
that's either still under plan or you can now have it extra. So they're going to end up servicing with us.
So here's my point I want to raise. Hey, let's take a Mercedes-Benz, 2020 A200 AMG. It comes out with a 6-year, 100,000 kilometers motor plan, maintenance plan. Okay, so now we've got a scenario where that's unbundled. So you have a 6-year warranty, 100,000, no service plan. You can buy it that way to save cost. Okay, then this is the question I put forward which nobody could answer. We buy the vehicle as Midmac Motors, as the dealership, on 35,000 Ks. The vehicle's 2 years old. Still under warranty, had 2 services.
And motor plan.
No motor
Only
plan.
warranty.
Yeah, so it's got the warranty, but it had 2 services done at a non-Mercedes dealership. We sell the vehicle to, let's call him John. John buys the vehicle from us. He drives away. The vehicle breaks. The engine blows. The warranty is with Mercedes-Benz. I need you to follow my question.
Now the services are with someone else.
Someone else.
Yeah.
But we take it through because they are allowed to service the vehicle. In this event, and that's the question that could not be answered, Mercedes-Benz says, we've tested the viscosity of this oil, and let's say it's a 10W30, wrong oil was used here, 10W40, whatever the case might be. So now Mercedes-Benz says, and this is not a true story, we're just using it as,
sure.
Please Mercedes, we love your cars. Don't take us to, don't take us to court here. We're just using an example. So this current vehicle's warranty claim for an engine that costs, call it 100,000 Rand, is repudiated. We're not paying. Wrong oil was used. From their point of view, do you agree with them repudiating the claim? If the wrong oil is used, do you agree with that?
If the wrong oil is used,
Correct.
remember there's recommended oil for every
100%.
Okay, but if it was serviced with Mercedes,
So that's the follow-up question.
that's
So-
the follow-up now.
So now they say, no, we're not going to pay for this because call them ABC service providers, put the wrong oil. ABC service provider says, no, we put the right oil. Let's say, for example, they say, no, we disagree with that, we put the right oil. Now, everybody says, yeah, but there is a Consumer Protection Act and so on, and they scored. So now my question is this. We sold this vehicle as Midmac Motors, as the
So there's no
dealership.
trouble now.
We stand father for our product. We sold it with a warranty. The customer has bought a vehicle
with a warranty.
With a warranty,
Yeah.
where the engine failed, now nobody's paying. So whose fault is this?
So are you going back to ABC now?
Yeah.
Or will Mercedes stand up for the product?
I don't
because
think they
it's their
should.
product?
I don't think
or
they
is it going to
should.
be us?
So that's the question. I don't think they should, because from there, everybody's right here, but we need to put the customer first. Who helps this
Customer's
customer?
gonna lose.
So customer will lose. I agree with
Yeah.
you, because we, as a dealership, said we sold you the car with a warranty. Yes, 100%. Mercedes-Benz says we're not paying this warranty out because wrong oil was used.
Gee, then I feel safer to sell my own warranty
So-
and forget about the manufacturer warranty.
But here's the thing: if the service was done with Mercedes-Benz and something happened, and they take ownership because they stand for the product.
Yes.
If ABC service provider says no, we're not interested, who holds them accountable? And yes, we can go to
Don't
court.
have a body.
We can go to court, but that means the customer sits 6 months without a vehicle that he has to pay for, because the moment he stops paying, Westbank is knocking on the door saying,
They're
how's
gonna
it?
take it back.
They're going to take it back, or go and blacklist the customer and so on, slow pay and all that other stuff, which is not really the case here. So that's very, very grey in my
And
opinion.
no one could answer
Nobody
the
could
fact
answer
that
it, yeah.
the workshops must be approved by a panel, that if something like that happens, they can ask for documentation. Please provide me documentation. Please give me whatever relevant information you've got on the system. We know what kind of oils we buy, so you've got it, you book it against the vehicle.
But I mean, people work on, and leave, if ABC Motors is a good dealership, and I have an off day that day, and I'm a technician at ABC,
made a mistake.
and I made a mistake because there's 4 or 5 different oils. I did use the wrong oil.
Yeah.
So how do we hold that dealership accountable? Is it just an idea? Is it, in order for you to qualify as a workshop to do this, you have to pay in a certain amount of money in a governing body in case something like this happens? I'm not
Like
saying that's
insurance.
like an insurance. Do you have to have insurance for that? Have we thought of these things?
But
No, I
this
don't think that.
other workshops, remember now, the market is being opened up for competition, which this would in turn benefit the client, right?
Absolutely. Drive prices down.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But the workshop gets to benefit, the workshops gets to benefit more business, right? So what you want to do when you get more business, you need to up your game. You have to be at the very highest standard, but somebody has to be there to hold everybody responsible.
There must be.
Yes, the likes of RMI.
And they must, like insurance companies got insurance insuring them.
Exactly.
I think workshops must have the ability where they can insure themselves for a certain amount for those kind of things, because that is a unforeseen thing. That's exactly what you said.
The client bought the car from Midmark Motors.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't want to have him fighting those battles now with
We're
ABC Motors and Mercedes-Benz. But if ABC Motors says, yes, the last service on this car was done in this building, we changed the oil. I think if we have to go to court, we'd rather go to court, because
I understand, and we'll walk the distance with the customer. Yeah. However, how long will the court proceedings take? Well, nobody knows. It can be a month, 3 months, 6 months, 18 months, 24 months. That customer still has to pay for a car that he can't use.
And we've gone through our thorough checks. It was under warranty at that point in time. It had 2 services. So that's really unforeseen. But we deal with these kind of situations on a daily basis. So this is not a once-off situation. These are things that I've seen on a daily basis.
It happens. So at a Mercedes, even if it's a non-McCarthy or franchise, if it's an independent agency, the moment that thing happens, head office says, how's it? You need to fit a new motor at your expense. Yeah. You don't have a choice, or else we pull the license away. I mean that's a form of accountability. But this guy who pulls his license away, how?
The only thing is there must be a governing body looking after those people.
Yeah.
With some sort of insurance, maybe, because otherwise you're going to close businesses down.
Yeah.
But no, it's definitely a grey area. I agree with that. But we've seen these kind of situations, even with current situations where a vehicle has got a motor plan. We buy it with a motor plan, and we've seen it last week again. Buy it with a motor plan, full service history. We've confirmed it. 3 weeks later, we deliver that car. Moment you want to do the transfer, just to find, oh, sorry, no motor plan anymore. It's like, but we've confirmed it when we purchased it, and we've got no foot to stand on. So there's also a grey area.
Yeah, 100%.
As much as a good move, right to repair is. Right?
For the consumer, in terms of saving costs, 100%.
We need to be prepared, obviously, for grey areas like what we've just discussed now. However, to think of the fact that for the past however many years the motor industry has been in operation, the client has actually bought products without really being aware that they're paying for products.
Yeah.
Service plans and warranties and maintenance plans has been sold, but not separate from the vehicle.
Yeah.
Not so many of us knew that they've actually paid for a service plan and a warranty. So I see it as quite a good move.
100%. I agree. Fully agree.
Yeah.
It is. But then again, we need to think about things as well, like parts. Where did you get the parts from that was fitted to the vehicle on that 30,000 kilometer service?
Surely it should be from the agent.
It should be from the agent. But is it? Or are we just guessing?
In my opinion, because
in
if
my
it's
opinion, yes.
non-genuine part, then it might fail quicker than a genuine part.
Yes, so that is one of the other things we need to discuss. And then, as you mentioned now, with the fact that you've got a service plan, so what if I now buy my service plan and I sell my car in 3 years? What's going to happen? Or it's written off. What's going to happen with that money?
Yeah, remember, this is now not a month-to-month buy. You've prepaid for 3 years, you covered for 3 years, you only use it for...
But it's a service, yes.
But I've written my car. Say for example,
service plan.
I've bought a 5-year motor plan with BMW, and on month 36 I'm in an accident. Boom, the car's written off. So I'm not going to, and let's say the car halfway, 50,000 Ks, 50,000 Ks left. I've paid for that service plan. Nobody's going to use it. The car's written off. Do I get refunded? I think I should.
You should be. It should be fully transferable as well. Think of it this way. Obviously, if your car gets written off, if your car gets written off, you are most likely to buy another vehicle.
I don't want to buy a 3 Series anymore. I want to buy a 5 Series.
Yeah, then there should be a refund, definitely.
Yeah.
Then it's refunded into your account or...
To think of it, these balances, where have they been going to? Because if I have a 5 years plan, I only got to use it for 2 years. What usually happens to the 3 years that I've paid for that I haven't
That's a
actually
great
claimed for?
question.
Well, yeah, normally if the car is sold, it just get transferred because that all those used to be able to
But
transfer.
if it's written off?
But if it's written off, what happens?
Topic for another day. I think there's somebody that's
Someone
that's
is
actually
smiling
making.
and making money.
Yeah.
It's different with
100%.
warranties, but service plans, it's something that it's there, you've paid for it, it was worked out accordingly,
Yeah.
and you don't get your money back.
Yeah.
Whereas a warranty, different story. If you've claimed on your warranty, you can't get your money back. If you haven't claimed and it cancels,
I
you
mean-
can get the money back.
I mean, it's still a business, and I think at the end of the day, the consumer needs to be placed first. No matter what industry you're in, insurance, it doesn't. If you place the consumer first and look after their needs first, then you can grow long term, and it can be an industry that's evergreen. The motor industry is one of them. But in a situation like this, who gets the shorter end of the stick?
Yeah.
But I just want to ask a silly question. Currently, there's labor rates at BMW, Mercedes, all the branded guys.
Yeah.
That's high, and we all know it. And then you get your smaller dealerships, the RMI approved or any other smaller dealership, with some half the price, some maybe a bit more. Are they going to govern that as well eventually?
I think they should, because
Because now I can do my labor rates at 300 Rand an hour,
and get all the
and
work.
I can get all the work, and eventually I'm going to get a contract with my parts less than the other guys. So they need to govern that. If they've governed it right from the start anyway, this wouldn't have ever happened.
With competition, right? Everybody wins. That's definitely the reason why there should always be
But our
competition.
clients are losing.
Currently, so that's why the law was passed, so that the client wins in
Yeah.
terms of labor rights.
Yes.
And I'm for it. We said in the beginning of the video, anytime that you put a consumer first, it's the right decision. It's the only decision. However, putting the consumer first in terms of labor rights and putting the consumer at risk, we need to manage the two, very closely.
Isn't that maybe a matter where if I buy a brand new BMW 320, if I opt out to take my service plan with BMW, I'm going to service my car with BMW, and then I've got a certain warranty. But if I purchase my vehicle without a service plan, so I don't want a service plan, I'm going to do it on my own, because I want to service somewhere else. Isn't that maybe the game they're going to play? Where if you buy a service plan, it must be with the franchise. If it's without a service plan, you can service wherever, but then the warranty is still maybe a 3-year or 5-year, whatever warranty, but with certain limitations.
But I don't think so, because it needs to be one standard. A warranty is a warranty. A warranty is there to guarantee the product. So listen, we've built a great car. It will last you a minimum of 100,000 Ks of 5 years.
But aftermarket warranties, they differ from one company to the other.
But that's an
So-
aftermarket warranty. This is a globalized company like BMW that should be the same
Agree.
all over the world. So I think
Or
we can
you
have.
can still, well, why would I buy a service plan and not service it with BMW? Then I'm not going to service it somewhere else. So if I don't buy one, I'm going to
that's-
service it for less. So depending on what that service plan cost.
There we go. But until today,
That's-
we've never had the option. So it's always been, this is the car, this is the price. You want extras, it's sunroof, xenon lights, whatever. It was never offered as
That was
a.
never an option.
There we go.
Well, I would like to know what is the cost of that option.
Me too.
Because if I know what is the cost of that option,
You can make a
I
decision.
can make a decision.
Sure thing.
Then I know.
Sure thing.
Because currently in the market, if you buy a vehicle and it's still under warranty and service plan or motor plan, you cannot change a single thing to that vehicle.
No, you can't, because they can the plan.
Yeah, you
Well-
can't change
well-
a light or
well-
you can't change a tow bar.
Well, going back on
That's
currently, it's no more currently, because this legislation
It's already there.
has already been passed. So I think, yeah,
I think we do need to do a bit of homework.
Yeah, it's a system that you want to give a few years before
Yeah.
it's actually fully functional and it
100%.
operates smoothly.
100%.
I see the first few years being very rough.
It's going to be tough, yeah.
But I think maybe it's time that you go and buy a Mercedes, I'll take the BMW, and you choose. And let's see, because I think that's where we need to start, is to find out and do a
case study,
follow-up
yeah.
and
Yeah,
a case
100%.
study to find out, especially on, is it an extra? Is it an OEM extra, like we call it? Will that affect your trade and retail? Will it be? Because as from next year, it should be in the trade and retail
Yeah,
book.
100%.
Because it's been here
100%.
this year now. So from next year, it should be here. And then obviously, what's the pricing on that? Because that will give us an indication on where we're going.
So I think those are some valuable topics. I think it's an open-ended discussion. There was no conclusion here, but I hope it got everybody at home thinking about it. And you know, please, if you agree or don't agree, comment below. Let's let's have a conversation with the people, and hopefully we can all learn from it.
Yeah, maybe there's something that we haven't thought about.
Yeah, sure thing.
We'll see it as it goes. I can't wait.
I'm also very excited to see where it goes. Okay, everybody, I hope you found this masterclass informative. It was more of a discussion than a masterclass that you're used to. If you like this type of content, hit the thumbs up button. Also, please
Like and share.
Okay.
Ring a bell.
Yeah, or ring a bell. Ring the bell and subscribe, please. Thank you very much, and thank you for sharing your time with us. Take care.